Hi, everybody. Razan again. This is my second week desk critique, and I really liked this week's topic, which was multimedia. Um, I am still trying to get my bearings around Captivate, and by that I mean I'm slowly working my way through it, but I'm not 100% confident in it, and I definitely don't know how competent I am in it. I'm not that competent in it at all, truly. So I did decide to go with GIMP, mostly for financial purposes. I'm kind of cheap, so if I don't have to pay for it, I am all about it. And to be honest with you, I'm very happy with it. I had a free trial of Adobe Photoshop probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and I was able to use it a little bit. And I really liked Photoshop, but it felt like there was so much to it that I just couldn't figure out, and it was really foreign to me. And I guess because I wasn't really spending a lot of time, there weren't any tutorials that I looked up or tried to watch. So I watched the GIMP tutorials and downloaded it, and I started to kind of play around with it. And I have included a link for my Google Slides that shows my before and after pictures. I chose to use some of my pictures from Spain from a trip that my husband and I took with one of my girlfriends and her husband. We went in October of 2015. By the way, you need to go to Spain at least once in your life. You need to go to Europe at least once in your life. People are scared of all of the craziness that happens out in the world, but to be honest with you, the world is safe. But you have to go to Spain. Spain's amazing. And I honestly had such an amazing time there. And I loved this GIMP uh, photo editing software because one of the pictures is from Nerja, which is a coastal town down at the tip of Spain. And I was able to get the picture to look almost the way it did in person. And it's a picture of the ocean with all of these massive boulder style rocks that are at the bottom. And I was looking down on it from the boardwalk, and it was beautiful. The sun was hitting the water just right. The color of the water was every shade of blue and green you could think of. And it was Mediterranean Sea, so of course it's gorgeous. But this software was so neat because I was able to change the hue and the color and really kind of get the contrast and the saturation right. And it was just amazing. And this was taken with like a Nikon Coolpix. It was not anything fancy. I didn't get my fancy camera until after Spain, which I can't believe I did that. So, anyways, go back to the topic at hand, which is multimedia. I really enjoyed reading the article about I can't think of the word now. It was the chapter in the book that we had to read, and it was very informative. I liked how it was broken down into the different styles of multimedia that you could use in your presentation, in your instruction, and how each of those was used for certain things. So you only wanted to use animation for showing a step-by-step process, but you could really do that with still pictures. And so it kind of explained the different ways to use the multimedia or images or video, stills and video. And I think that's going to be very helpful for me in my project because a lot of the things that I'll be teaching in this particular project, which is the MRI safety, is going to be more feasible to understand by using images and or video or animation. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to kind of try to work my way through figuring out which of the safety parameters, which of the safety practices would require a still video, like a still screenshot, or that would require some type of animation, or maybe just the little picture blocks that kind of show the steps. It's something that I'm kind of trying to think through, trying to figure out what would work best for each of the topics. There's multiple topics of safety that are involved in MRI. There is the safety of patients with the implants that they could have in their body. Obviously, the magnet safety, making sure you're not taking things into the room that are magnetic because the machine is a ginormous magnet and it could literally suck anything up into it. I've actually witnessed it firsthand. It was very scary. There's also the safety of people around the department who need to be screened and made sure that nobody comes near the magnet that hasn't been screened. There's a lot of different types of safety. There's the shielding of the magnet within the room so that you don't have any interference from the magnetic field on other equipment around. And most of the time when you're dealing with an MRI department, you have other equipment around the department because it's usually in the radiology department where there's the CT scanner and the nuclear medicine camera and the x-ray room. So there's all sorts of different equipment. Plus you have to think about patients' oxygen tanks and medicine pumps. And there's so many different factors involved. It kind of sounds like a headache because it kind of is, but that's why we do go over it in this program of mine, because we have to make sure that our students who become technologists understand the safety and the severity of the safety measures that must be taken. So overall, I really, really liked this module. I am not very familiar with photo editing tools aside from Instagram. I am an Instagram queen. I will edit the heck out of my photos on my phone, and it's very simple editing. It's just contrast and maybe a little bit of brightness and fade, or just the really basic stuff. And it was really neat because the GIMP software actually gives you that tenfold. So I'm able to really kind of practice the minutia of changing picture details, and you can do so many neat things. And I hope you get a chance to take a look at the 3 photos that I edited, because I try to do something different in each one. For the first picture, which is the bullfight, which was really cool and also very gory, I changed it to where there was a lot of black detail, to the point where I made it very, it was almost like pixelated. And then for the next picture, which was just a view of the city from our hotel balcony, it was just a city, and there was a bar down there. And I think at the time, everybody that was standing around was waiting for the bar to open because it was like beer 30. So everybody was ready to get onto the drinking part, which drinking in Spain is amazing, by the way. So anyways, off topic. So the second picture that I edited, I tried to kind of change the hue a little bit, the cast, the color. So the original picture is just a very typical picture of the city, an urban picture, and then the edited picture has a different hue to it. It's almost like a bluish color. It's very different looking. And I also flipped the picture, so there is a little bit of flipping to it. And then the third picture, which is the picture of the ocean, I pretty much didn't want to do too much to that because I just love that picture and there's not very much I could change with it. So all I did was pretty much just change the color of it. It looks like I'm at almost 8 minutes, and I apologize, so I'm just going to stop talking now. But anyways, I was really, really loving this module, and I hope you guys enjoy my pictures, and that's it. All right, y'all have a good week.